Let's talk about the architecture of ideas, how to build arguments that don't just, make a point, but can actually stand up to any challenge that comes their way. Let's dive in.
You know that feeling, right? You've got this brilliant idea in your head, but when you try to explain it or write it down, it just lands with a thud. It feels weak, unconvincing. Well, it turns out there's usually a pretty clear reason for that. See, the secret to a really powerful argument isn't about being the loudest or using the fanciest words. Nope, it's all about the structure. It's about building your idea on a solid foundation piece by piece. And actually, there's a fantastic way to think about this.
This quote from San Jose State's Writing Center just nails it, doesn't it? We're not just writing, we're building an intellectual home for our ideas. The thesis gives it its shape, the arguments are the frame, and the evidence, that's the bricks and mortar. So, let's grab our hard hats and start with the most important part, the blueprint.
Every single great house starts with a great blueprint. Without a clear plan, you've just got a big old pile of materials, right? In writing, that blueprint, that master plan, is your thesis statement. It tells you, and more importantly, your reader, exactly what you're building and what it's going to look like when it's done.
So a thesis isn't just a topic. It's way more than that. It's a specific, debatable claim that you're setting out to prove. Think of it like the central pillar of the whole house. Everything else has to connect back to it.
And here's a beautifully simple formula to get you started. A strong thesis is just your main claim plus your reasons. A claim all by itself is, well, it's just an opinion. But when you add the reasons, the because part, you suddenly have a roadmap for your entire paper. You've got your blueprint.
Okay, let's look at a real-world example to see what I mean. A vague topic might be something like healthy school lunches. Okay, what about them? A strong thesis, though, makes a specific claim and gives reasons. Something like, providing children with healthy lunches at school can help close the achievement gap between children of different socioeconomic backgrounds. Whoa, see the difference? One is just a topic, the other is a destination.
All right, so you've got your blueprint locked in. Now it's time to start putting up the framework. And in an argument, the framework is built out of your main points, those topic sentences that create the core structure of your paper.
Think of it this way. If your thesis is the roof of the house, your topic sentences are the big, load-bearing walls holding that roof up. Every single paragraph you write should be one of those walls, and its job is to support a specific part of your main thesis.
This shows you the flow inside each of those walls, inside each paragraph. You start at the top with the big general idea, that's your topic sentence. Then you build downwards, adding more and more specific details that prove that one single point. And these supporting details are what give your framework some real substance. They're the facts, the examples, the descriptions, the specific info that proves the claim you made back in your topic sentence. Without them, your structural beams are just hollow frames.
Okay, so we've got a blueprint and we've got a framework. Now we need to actually build the walls, right? This means choosing the right materials. And in our house of ideas, the materials are your evidence.
Now, this might seem super obvious, but this is where so many arguments just completely fall apart. The strength of your entire house depends on the quality of your building materials. You just can't build a solid brick house with flimsy straw. And the good news is you have a lot of different materials to choose from. Depending on what you're building, you might use scholarly articles, you might use hard statistics, you could use primary sources for a historical argument, or even text from literature for an analysis. The key is always choosing the right material for the job.
And here's a word of caution. You have to inspect your materials, always. Is your source biased? Is it totally outdated? Is it even relevant to the point you're trying to make? Because using weak evidence is like building with cracked bricks. Sooner or later, the whole structure is gonna crumble.
So you've got your blueprint, your framework, and a pile of high-quality materials. Awesome. But how do you actually put them all together? Well, there's a super simple and really powerful tool for this called the PI method.
The PI method is a fantastic way to build a solid, convincing paragraph every single time. It stands for point, illustration, and explanation. Let's see exactly how it works.
So first up, you lay down your point. This is your topic sentence, that main structural beam we were talking about. It's the one clear idea that this entire paragraph is going to prove. Simple as that.
Okay, next comes the illustration. This is where you bring in your building materials, your evidence. It could be a powerful quote, a key statistic, a solid fact. You are literally showing your reader the proof for the point you just made.
And now for the most important part,
The secret sauce, the explanation. This is the mortar that holds all the bricks together. You can't just drop a quote and walk away. You have to explain why it matters. How does this piece of evidence prove your point? This is your analysis, and it's what makes the argument truly yours.
So, after you've laid out the blueprint, you've erected the framework, you've chosen quality materials, and you've used a solid construction method, what do you end up with?
You end up with a complete structure. The blueprint gave it shape, the framework gave it support, the materials gave it substance, and the construction method put it all together. What you're left with isn't just a collection of ideas, it's a truly convincing argument.
What you have is an argument that is truly built to last. It's not just a mishmash of facts or opinions, it's an intellectual home. It's solid, it's impressive, and it can withstand questions and critiques, because every single part of it is there for a reason.
When you start thinking of yourself not just as a writer, but as an architect of ideas, it completely changes how you work. You become more intentional, more structured, and in the end, way more persuasive. So the only question left is, what incredible idea are you going to build next?